Folks, I regret to inform you that it has been far too long since we have made a video about this guy. Okay, maybe it's only been a few days, but realistically, there's good reason to talk about this player, this prospect, this SKA St. Petersburg superstar, Ivan Demidov. Because when it comes to Demidov, not only has he recently gone out there and had a pretty solid interview published by the Montreal Canadiens, but he has also been on quite the tear. Because recently, for SKA St. Petersburg, he has been getting more ice time, and if you take a look at the point log, oh baby, things are getting really sexy for Demidov here. Take a look at the game log. In Ivan Demidov's most recently completed 7 games, the guy has 1 point in the 3-2 win against Nefteky Makhniznikamp's, 1 point in the win against CSKA Moscow, 1 point and assist against Vityaz Moscow region, a 4-point game, 4 assists against the Kunlun Red Star, another assist against Spartak Moscow, yet another assist against Sibir Novosibirsk, and then 2 points, a goal, and an assist in a 3-2 loss against Lokomotiv Yaroslavl. If you're keeping count, that is 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 points in his most recent 7 games played. Over a point per game ever since the guy stopped getting less than 7 minutes of time on ice a game. And Ivan Demidov now has been thrusted all the way up there into the 2nd overall spot of SKA St. Petersburg points. He is a few behind Arseny Gritsyuk, and he is tied with Tony DeAngelo. This is absolutely what Canadiens fans wanted to see, and if you take a look at some of the tape, you look at the points he is scoring, the goal he had scored against Lokomotiv Yaroslavl, it was a beautiful one. He kind of did the backhand, forehand, backhand deke after squeaking through the D. Like, that is dynamic. Just super quality hockey out of Ivan Demidov, especially in the past little while here. It's almost like the team punished him for being such a celebrity for Montreal Canadiens fans, and then they realized, oh, well, he's actually, like, really good, so we can give him these minutes, and even though he's pretty much setting himself up for having a seamless transition into North America, he helps us win games. And with guys like Tony DeAngelo, for example, committing on social media saying, yeah, I have his back. Don't worry, Montreal. He's going to be safe under my wing. Even Evgeny Kuznetsov on the SKA St. Petersburg interview saying as well that he likes Ivan Demidov and he wants to be there for the guy. Now that the players are endorsing this young dude, SKA St. Petersburg has no choice but to actually use him in a role that sees him getting more than 3 minutes of time on ice a game. In these recent games, he has been getting 15, 16, 11, 12, 9, 13 minutes of time on ice a game, so it bodes very well into allowing him to produce. In fact, the second lowest amount of time he has had in this recent stretch was the 4-point Kunlun Red Star game where he only had 11 minutes and 56 seconds, but still posted up 4 assists in the process. I mean, they still won 8-0. They were able to outbid the Nail Yakupov-led Kunlun Red Star and come away with that dub, but either way, Ivan Demidov has been very impressive, and there's a lot more to be excited for with this guy when you read this article that was published on the Montreal Canadiens website from 2 days ago. Let's dive into catching up with Ivan Demidov. Habs' 5th overall pick in 2024, chats draft experience, goals for the season, and more. October 24th, 2024, the article will be linked in the description. No one had Celine Dion and Ivan Demidov appearing in the same sentence on their bingo cards this summer. However, with Demidov available on the 5th overall spot of the 2024 draft, it was fitting that one of Quebec's greatest vocalists and a master of the microphone announced the name that many Habs fans hoped the next generational talent to grace the Montreal faithful. Oh yeah, I love the way that article starts. Anyways, let's get past Celine Dion and the legend that she is. Let's talk about some of these questions and these answers that Demidov went out there and provided. The question here, have you had a chance to speak to any of the players on the Montreal Canadiens? I met Lane Hudson at the draft, Demidov said. On Instagram, I got DMs from Nick Suzuki, Cole Caufield, Slavkovsky, and other guys. They told me they can't wait to meet me and that they're so excited. Oh, okay, look at that, eh? Cole Caufield, Yuri Slavkovsky, Nick Suzuki, sliding into them DMs, baby, for Ivan Demidov. Of course, taking away all connotation of the phrase sliding into the DMs, it's good to see that the top guys on the Montreal Canadiens are indeed supportive and paying attention to the Habs draft hype, and hopefully kind of just catching wind of how Canadiens fans are responding to this too. Speaking about those fans, there's been a lot of support from Habs fans towards Demidov on social media. What does it mean to you? The support has been crazy. Fans are still texting me and following me on Instagram. Before the draft, I had 25,000 followers. I should say 2,500 followers. Now I have 25,000. It's crazy. And I do kind of question what Ivan Demidov's overall usage of social media is. Like, he posts and whatever, there are stories here and there, but you do need a VPN, to my knowledge, to actually access Instagram in Russia. And I know this because I do have some friends that are there and they have to use a VPN every time they want to log on to the IG. Maybe it's not really that big of a deal to just turn on the VPN and then just scroll, but it is an extra step here. So Ivan Demidov isn't as easily accessible to all of this fan support than somebody who was drafted and bred in North America, for example. Maybe a small detail that doesn't really mean anything, but something that I still thought was worth bringing up, especially since Demidov is saying, hey, Habs fans are still following me, they're still messaging me, it's pretty good. Was that your first time in Las Vegas? What did you think of the city? Yeah, it was my first time in North America. I think it was good. In America, the weather is hot. It was 44 degrees, so hot. The interviewer says, I can promise you it's not that hot in Montreal in the winter. Yeah, I know, I like that. For me, personally, it's better in the winter. This is also something interesting because Vegas is hot as balls. I mean, I was there earlier this month, actually, but it's kind of a dry heat. It's not humid at all. So even though it was like 35, 36, 37 when I was there at the beginning of October, it was still very manageable, still reasonable to walk around in a hoodie and not really feel too bad. Anyways, moving on to some of the other comments here. What are your personal goals for the upcoming season? For me, it's two things: muscle and explosion. I just want to be more explosive and more powerful, which, hey, look, I'm not going to go out there and sit here and tell Ivan Demidov what he should or should be working on, because he's already pretty good. So him trying to get even more explosive, even more powerful on his mobility with and without the puck, that is a pretty good sign in my opinion. Obviously, it's good to set goals, and having these benchmarks attainable for the next few years seems like a pretty good thing for Canadiens fans excited about Demidov. Canadiens co-director of amateur scouting Nick Bobrov said that pressure is something that you love. What is it about pressure that makes you feel the best version of yourself? When people are in their comfort zone and they have no pressure, it's bad for their development, Demidov said. That's why, for me, I love it when people love hockey. All they talk about is hockey. Goals, assists, and moves. That's why, for me, Montreal is a really great city. Yeah, believe me, eh? Everybody's talking about Samuel Montembeault in a crazy way after the game against the Seattle Kraken. Anyways, we already talked about that in an old video. Let's go over to the final few questions here. You said you played as Martin St. Louis in NHL 07. How excited are you by the idea of being coached by him in the future, and did he give you any advice when you spoke to him at the draft? After the draft, I met with St. Louis and Vinny Lecavalier. They're two people whose resumes are really impressive. That's why for me, a coach like Martin St. Louis is cool, because we are similar players. He has a great hockey IQ, he can teach me hockey secrets like on the power play. I want to learn it. That's pretty true too. Not really the biggest guys. Maybe St. Louis was a bit smaller than Ivan Demidov. Maybe he definitely had bigger thighs though. I don't know if Demidov is going to be able to best out Martin St. Louis in that respect. But going over onto the final few questions over here, let's talk about this. So, what is the most memorable moment from your hockey career so far? There are two moments. First, when I won the Hlinka Gretzky in 2021 against Juraj Slafkovsky in the final against Slovakia. Second was when we won the NHL Cup last year. You told us at the draft that soccer is your favorite sport after hockey. What is your favorite soccer team and why? Real Madrid, Demidov said. From childhood, when I started to watch football, soccer, I love to watch Cristiano Ronaldo. That's why my favorite team is Real Madrid. Now, I personally don't know much about football, so y'all football fans can go out there and debate amongst yourselves in the comments whether or not that makes Demidov cool or not, but let me know your thoughts in the comment section either way about this holistic interview with Demidov from the Montreal Canadiens. It's awesome to be able to see more about this guy and his personality, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.